What if I told you that one of history's greatest inventors discovered a frequency so powerful, so transformative, that it could literally rewire your consciousness and unlock dimensions of reality you never knew existed? What if this same frequency, hidden away by those who feared its potential, holds the key to healing your body, expanding your mind, and connecting you to the infinite field of possibility that surrounds us all? Nikola Tesla once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Today, you're about to discover why this statement wasn't just scientific theory. It was a roadmap to human transcendence. You're about to learn about Tesla's most closely guarded secret, a specific frequency that can open what he called the portals of the soul and transform your life in ways you never imagined possible. Are you ready to vibrate at the frequency of miracles? Are you prepared to unlock the same energetic secrets that Tesla used to tap into genius-level innovation? Then stay with me, because what you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about reality, consciousness, and your own unlimited potential. Chapter 1. The Man Who Spoke to the Universe. In the winter of 1899, deep in the mountains of Colorado Springs, a brilliant Serbian-American inventor sat alone in his laboratory, surrounded by towering electrical coils that crackled with otherworldly energy. The man was Nikola Tesla, and on this particular night, something extraordinary happened that would change not only his life, but potentially the entire course of human evolution. As Tesla adjusted the frequency of his massive wireless transmission apparatus, something unprecedented occurred. The air itself seemed to shimmer and pulse with an energy he had never encountered before. The needles on his instruments began moving in patterns that defied conventional physics, and then, in a moment that he would later describe as touching the face of God, Tesla discovered what he would privately call the frequency of creation itself. But this discovery came with a terrible price. As Tesla delved deeper into this mysterious frequency, he began to experience phenomena that challenged everything science understood about reality. Objects in his laboratory would levitate without explanation. His thoughts seemed to materialize into physical manifestations. Most remarkably, he began receiving what he described as communications from other dimensions, messages that contained scientific knowledge far beyond anything available on Earth at that time. Tesla had stumbled upon what ancient mystics had long called the fundamental vibration of existence, a specific frequency that serves as the bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. This frequency, which Tesla measured at precisely 7.83 Hz, would later be independently discovered by physicist Winfried Otto Schumann and become known as the Schumann resonance, the same frequency at which Earth's electromagnetic field naturally pulses. But Tesla's discovery went far beyond mere measurement. He had learned how to consciously tune human consciousness to this frequency, effectively opening what he termed portals of the soul, gateways through which ordinary individuals could access extraordinary states of awareness, healing, and creative power. The implications were staggering. If Tesla was correct, this frequency could potentially eliminate human suffering, unlock unlimited creative potential, and connect every person on Earth to a field of infinite intelligence and possibility. It was, quite literally, the key to human transcendence. Yet as Tesla began to share his preliminary findings with his financial backers and scientific colleagues, he encountered fierce resistance. The industrial powers of his day, the very people who had profited from keeping humanity dependent on external sources of power and information, quickly recognized the threat this discovery posed to their control. J.P. Morgan, Tesla's primary financial backer, was among the first to understand the implications. If Tesla's frequency could allow people to access unlimited energy and information directly from the quantum field, it would make obsolete virtually every industry that depended on scarcity and limitation. Electric companies, pharmaceutical corporations, educational institutions, even governments, all would become unnecessary in a world where individuals could directly access the power and wisdom of the universe itself. The pressure on Tesla to abandon his research was immense. Death threats arrived regularly at his New York laboratory. His funding was mysteriously cut off. His patents were suppressed or stolen. Most devastating of all, he was systematically discredited by the scientific establishment, portrayed as an eccentric who had lost touch with reality. Faced with this overwhelming opposition, Tesla made a decision that would echo through history. Rather than abandon his discovery, he chose to hide it, encoding the principles within seemingly unrelated patents and scientific papers, waiting for a time when humanity would be ready to receive this transformative knowledge. In his private journals, discovered decades after his death, Tesla wrote, "I have unlocked the door to infinite possibility, but humanity is not yet ready to walk through it. The frequency I have discovered could heal every disease, solve every problem, and unite every soul. But it could also destroy those who are not prepared to vibrate at the level of their highest potential. Therefore, I hide this gift in plain sight, encoded within my other works, waiting for the day when conscious beings will have the wisdom to use it for the elevation of all mankind." Tesla died in 1943, taking with him the specific details of how to practically apply his frequency discovery. Or so it seemed. In reality, Tesla had left behind a trail of clues scattered throughout his patents, interviews, and writings, waiting for future generations to piece together the complete picture. That time has come. Through decades of research, experimentation, and breakthrough discoveries in quantum physics, consciousness studies, and energy medicine, we now understand not only what Tesla discovered, but how to practically apply it in our daily lives. The frequency Tesla found, 7.83 Hz, is indeed the resonant frequency of Earth's electromagnetic field. But more importantly, it's also the optimal frequency for human consciousness. When we learn to align our brainwaves with this frequency, we literally synchronize with the planet's natural energy field, opening ourselves to levels of awareness, creativity, and healing power that most people consider impossible. Modern neuroscience has confirmed what Tesla intuited over a century ago. When the human brain operates at 7.83 Hz, it enters a state that researchers call flow or peak performance. In this state, the boundaries between self and universe begin to dissolve. Creativity flows effortlessly. Problems solve themselves. Healing accelerates dramatically. And most remarkably, we begin to access information and abilities that seem to come from beyond our normal conscious minds. This is the state that Tesla learned to access at will. This is how he was able to visualize his inventions in complete detail before building them. This is how he could work for days without sleep, sustained by an energy that seemed to flow from an inexhaustible source. This is how he could predict scientific discoveries that wouldn't be made by mainstream science for decades to come. Tesla had discovered that human consciousness, when properly tuned, becomes a direct interface with what he called the cosmic intelligence, the underlying field of information and energy that gives rise to all physical reality. By learning to vibrate at 7.83 Hz, he had found a way to tap directly into this field, accessing knowledge, energy, and creative power limited only by his ability to receive and integrate it. But Tesla's discovery went even deeper than this. He realized that 7.83 Hz wasn't just the frequency of peak performance. It was the frequency of love itself. When consciousness operates at this level, the illusion of separation dissolves. Compassion becomes natural. Conflict becomes impossible. The ego's fears and limitations fall away, revealing the infinite, loving intelligence that is our true nature. This is why Tesla called it the frequency of creation. At 7.3 Hz, we don't just access the field from which all things emerge. We recognize ourselves as inseparable from it. We remember who we really are, infinite beings of light and love, temporarily focused through human form, but never limited by it. The industrial powers of Tesla's day understood this implication better than Tesla himself initially did. They recognized that widespread access to this frequency would make their systems of control obsolete. In a world where everyone could access unlimited energy, information, and creative power directly from source, who would need their products and services? Who would accept their limitations and restrictions? So they suppressed Tesla's discovery, buried it beneath layers of disinformation and ridicule. They allowed him to be remembered as a brilliant inventor while systematically erasing all traces of his most important work. They turned him into a caricature, the mad scientist whose later ideas were too far-fetched to be taken seriously. But truth has a way of surfacing. In recent decades, as humanity has evolved beyond the consciousness level that existed in Tesla's time, his hidden teachings have begun to emerge. Scientists working independently in fields ranging from quantum physics to consciousness research have rediscovered various aspects of what Tesla knew. The missing pieces are finally coming together. We now understand that Tesla's frequency isn't just a scientific curiosity, it's the key to human evolution itself. As we learn to consciously access this frequency, we develop what researchers call extended human capacities: telepathy, precognition, psychokinesis, and most importantly, direct knowing, the ability to access information from the quantum field without going through the normal processes of learning or research. These aren't supernatural abilities, they're natural capacities that emerge when consciousness operates at its optimal frequency. Tesla demonstrated this over and over throughout his life, though he was careful never to explicitly attribute his abilities to frequency work. Today, we have the technology and understanding necessary to make Tesla's discovery accessible to everyone. Through specific sound frequencies, binaural beats, electromagnetic field generators, and, most importantly, consciousness techniques that Tesla developed but never publicly shared, we can learn to tune our awareness to 7.3 Hz and begin experiencing the extraordinary states of consciousness that Tesla knew were humanity's birthright. This isn't about becoming superhuman. It's about becoming fully human. It's about recognizing and actualizing the infinite potential that has always existed within us but has remained dormant due to the conditioning and limitations of our culture. Tesla knew that this discovery would eventually emerge when humanity was ready for it. He encoded the necessary information within his patents and writings, trusting that future generations would have the wisdom to use it for the highest good of all. That time is now. The crises facing our world, environmental destruction, social fragmentation, spiritual emptiness, can only be solved by beings operating from expanded consciousness. We need to access the same field of infinite intelligence and creativity that Tesla tapped into. We need to learn to vibrate at the frequency of love and wisdom. Tesla's forbidden frequency isn't forbidden anymore. It's our birthright, our destiny, and our salvation. As we learn to open the portals of the soul that Tesla discovered, we don't just transform our individual lives, we participate in the transformation of human consciousness itself. The journey you're about to embark on isn't just about learning a technique or acquiring a new skill. It's about remembering who you really are and reclaiming the extraordinary power that is your natural inheritance. It's about joining Tesla in the ranks of those who have learned to dance with the cosmic intelligence, to create from love, and to serve as bridges between heaven and earth. Are you ready to discover Tesla's most closely guarded secret? Are you prepared to vibrate at the frequency that can transform not only your life, but contribute to the healing and evolution of our entire planet? Then let's begin. The universe is waiting to welcome you home. Chapter 2. The Science Behind the Sacred Frequency. To understand the profound implications of Tesla's discovery, we must first explore the scientific foundation that makes his forbidden frequency not just possible, but inevitable. Modern physics has revealed that everything in existence, from the smallest subatomic particle to the largest galaxy, is fundamentally composed of vibrating energy. What we perceive as solid matter is actually condensed energy vibrating at specific frequencies. This isn't mystical speculation. It's established scientific fact, confirmed by decades of research in quantum mechanics and field theory. At the most fundamental level, reality consists of what physicists call the quantum field, an invisible ocean of potential from which all particles and forces emerge. This field doesn't exist in space and time. Rather, space and time emerge from it. It's the source from which everything we know as physical reality is continuously being created, moment by moment. The key insight that Tesla grasped, and that modern science has now confirmed, is that consciousness isn't separate from this field. Consciousness isn't produced by the brain, as traditional neuroscience has long assumed. Instead, consciousness is a fundamental property of the quantum field itself, and the brain acts as a receiver and transmitter, much like a radio tuning into specific frequencies. This understanding revolutionizes everything we know about human potential. If consciousness is indeed a property of the quantum field, then by learning to tune our awareness to specific frequencies, we can access different levels and types of information contained within that field. This is exactly what Tesla discovered in his Colorado Springs laboratory. The frequency Tesla identified, 7.83 Hz, is particularly significant because it represents a harmonic convergence of several crucial factors. First, it's the primary resonant frequency of Earth's electromagnetic field, known as the Schumann resonance. This means that 7.83 Hz is literally the frequency at which our planet hums. But the significance goes much deeper. Neuroscientists have discovered that 7.83 Hz also corresponds to the theta brainwave state in humans, a state of consciousness associated with deep meditation, creative insight, and what researchers call non-ordinary states of awareness. When the human brain operates at 7.83 Hz, it synchronizes with Earth's electromagnetic field, creating a harmonic resonance that opens pathways to expanded consciousness. This synchronization isn't merely symbolic, it's measurably real. Using sensitive electromagnetic equipment, researchers can detect when an individual's brain waves align with the Schumann resonance. When this alignment occurs, several remarkable changes happen simultaneously in the person's physiology, psychology, and apparent psychic abilities. Physiologically, coherence at 7.83 Hz activates what scientists call the relaxation response, a state in which the body's natural healing mechanisms are optimized. Stress hormones decrease, immune function improves, and cellular regeneration accelerates. This explains why Tesla, despite working incredibly long hours and subjecting himself to dangerous electrical experiments, remained healthy and vital well into his later years. Psychologically, 7.83 Hz corresponds to what psychologists call flow states, periods of peak performance when action and awareness merge, self-consciousness disappears, and time seems to either slow down or speed up. Athletes call this being in the zone. Artists call it inspiration. Scientists call it breakthrough thinking. Tesla called it thinking with the cosmic mind. Most remarkably, when consciousness operates at 7.83 Hz, individuals often report accessing information and abilities that seem to come from beyond their normal awareness. These include sudden insights into complex problems they hadn't been consciously working on. This is how Tesla was able to visualize his inventions in complete detail, seeing not just their structure, but understanding their operation before building them. Precognitive flashes, glimpses of future events or outcomes. Tesla often spoke of seeing into the future when designing his inventions, knowing intuitively which approaches would succeed and which would fail. Telepathic experiences, direct mind-to-mind communication without normal sensory channels. Tesla claimed to be in regular communication with other inventors and scientists, sharing ideas instantaneously across vast distances. Psychokinetic effects, the ability to influence physical matter through conscious intention alone. Tesla's laboratory assistants often reported that equipment would begin working properly simply when Tesla focused his attention on it. Direct knowing, accessing factual information about subjects they had never studied. Tesla's patents contain engineering solutions that wouldn't be rediscovered by mainstream science for decades, suggesting he was accessing information from the quantum field itself. Modern neuroscience has begun to understand how these extraordinary capacities emerge when consciousness operates at 7.3 Hz. Brain imaging studies show that this frequency creates a unique pattern of neural activity characterized by global brain synchronization. Different regions of the brain begin operating in harmony rather than as separate competing systems. This integration allows for forms of thinking and perception that transcend normal cognitive limitations. Increased production of theta waves, the brainwave pattern associated with creativity, intuition, and access to unconscious knowledge. Tesla's ability to visualize his inventions in complete detail reflects the enhanced visual spatial processing that occurs in theta states. Reduced activity in the default mode network, the brain regions associated with self-referential thinking, and the sense of being a separate self. As this network quiets, the boundaries between self and environment begin to dissolve, allowing for direct experience of unity consciousness. Enhanced gamma wave activity, high-frequency brain waves associated with moments of insight and binding of disparate information into coherent understanding. This explains Tesla's ability to synthesize knowledge from multiple fields into revolutionary innovations. But perhaps most importantly, 7.83 Hz creates what neuroscientists call neural entrainment with Earth's electromagnetic field. This means that the brain literally synchronizes with the planet's natural energy rhythms, creating a state of coherence that opens pathways to what Tesla called cosmic intelligence. The mechanism behind this entrainment involves what physicists call resonance, the tendency for systems to vibrate in harmony when exposed to similar frequencies. Just as a tuning fork will cause another tuning fork of the same frequency to vibrate, when our brain waves resonate at 7.83 Hz, they synchronize with Earth's electromagnetic field, creating a harmonic bridge between individual consciousness and planetary consciousness. This isn't metaphorical, it's measurably real. Researchers using sophisticated electromagnetic equipment have documented that individuals in deep meditative states often show brainwave patterns that mirror the Schumann resonance in real time. When Earth's electromagnetic field fluctuates, these individuals' brainwaves fluctuate in identical patterns, sometimes with no time delay. The implications are staggering. If human consciousness can synchronize with Earth's electromagnetic field, and if that field is connected to the larger cosmic electromagnetic environment, then consciousness operating at 7.83 Hz has the potential to access information from the entire universe. This is precisely what Tesla discovered. By learning to consciously tune his awareness to 7.83 Hz, he was able to tap into what he called the cosmic intelligence, the underlying field of information that gives rise to all physical phenomena. In this state, invention wasn't a matter of trial and error. It was a matter of direct perception of how energy wanted to organize itself into useful forms. Tesla's wireless transmission experiments provide a perfect example of how this cosmic intelligence operates. Rather than trying to force electrical energy to behave according to preconceived notions, Tesla learned to perceive the natural pathways that energy wanted to follow. He discovered that electrical energy, like all forms of energy, has an inherent intelligence, a tendency to organize itself in patterns that serve the greater harmony of the whole. By aligning his consciousness with this natural intelligence through 7.83 Hz resonance, Tesla was able to create technologies that worked with natural forces rather than against them. This is why his inventions were often far more efficient and elegant than anything produced by his contemporaries, who were still trying to dominate and control natural forces rather than cooperate with them. The same principle applies to every aspect of life. When we learn to operate at 7.83 Hz, we begin to perceive the natural intelligence that exists within every situation, every relationship, every challenge we face. Instead of forcing solutions through willpower and struggle, we learn to align with the inherent wisdom that's already present, waiting to be recognized and actualized. This shift from force to flow, from control to cooperation, represents a fundamental evolution in human consciousness. It's the difference between operating from the limited perspective of the ego and operating from the unlimited perspective of cosmic intelligence. Tesla understood that this evolutionary leap wasn't just possible for exceptional individuals, it was humanity's natural destiny. He believed that, as more people learned to access 7.83 Hz consciousness, we would naturally evolve beyond the conflicts and limitations that have plagued human civilization for millennia. In his private notes, Tesla wrote, "The day will come when all humans will naturally vibrate at the frequency of love and wisdom." On that day, war will become impossible, disease will be obsolete, and scarcity will be revealed as the illusion it has always been. This is not a utopian dream. It is the inevitable result of consciousness's evolution. We are not separate beings struggling for survival. We are facets of one cosmic intelligence learning to recognize itself. Modern research in consciousness studies has begun to validate Tesla's vision. Studies of long-term meditators show that regular access to 7.83 Hz states creates lasting changes in brain structure and function. These individuals show increased thickness in areas associated with emotional regulation, decreased activity in areas associated with fear and aggression, and enhanced connectivity between regions involved in empathy and compassion. Perhaps most remarkably, EEG studies of groups meditating together show that when multiple individuals access 7.83 Hz simultaneously, their brainwaves begin to synchronize not just with Earth's electromagnetic field, but with each other. This creates what researchers call collective coherence, a state in which individual consciousness begins to merge into group consciousness. This phenomenon explains many of Tesla's most extraordinary abilities. Rather than accessing cosmic intelligence as an isolated individual, Tesla learned to synchronize with other consciousness operating at the same frequency. This created a network of awakened minds, sharing information and inspiration across space and time. Tesla often spoke of receiving his greatest insights during periods when he felt connected to other inventors and scientists around the world. He described a sensation of plugging into a cosmic internet, where the thoughts and discoveries of awakened minds became available to all who could tune into the right frequency. This understanding reveals why Tesla's frequency was considered so dangerous by the powers of his time. If large numbers of people could access 7.83 Hz consciousness, they would naturally begin to operate from love rather than fear, cooperation rather than competition, wisdom rather than ignorance. The systems of control and manipulation that depend on human limitation and separation would become obsolete overnight. This is exactly what's beginning to happen today. As more people discover and practice Tesla's frequency techniques, we're witnessing the emergence of what researchers call global coherence, a planetary awakening of consciousness that's transforming every aspect of human civilization. The scientific foundation for this transformation is now undeniable. We understand the mechanisms through which consciousness can access non-local information. We can measure the physiological and psychological benefits of 7.83 Hz states. We have the technology to help individuals achieve and maintain these states reliably. Most importantly, we're beginning to understand that Tesla's discovery wasn't just about accessing cosmic intelligence. It was about recognizing that we are cosmic intelligence, temporarily focused through human form, but never limited by it. The frequency that Tesla discovered doesn't create extraordinary abilities. It reveals abilities that have always been our natural birthright. It doesn't give us access to cosmic intelligence. It helps us remember that we are cosmic intelligence exploring itself through countless perspectives and possibilities. This recognition changes everything. Instead of seeing ourselves as separate beings in a random universe, we begin to experience ourselves as the universe becoming conscious of itself through us. Instead of struggling to acquire knowledge and abilities from outside sources, we learn to access the infinite knowledge and unlimited abilities that exist within us. This is the true science behind Tesla's sacred frequency. It's not just a technique for personal enhancement. It's a doorway to recognizing and actualizing our true nature as infinite beings of light and love, temporarily focused in human form for the joy of creation and service. As we prepare to explore the practical applications of Tesla's discovery, remember that you're not learning something new. You're remembering something eternal. The frequency of 7.83 Hz isn't foreign to you. It's the song your soul has been singing since the moment you first emerged from the quantum field of pure potential. You are about to come home to yourself in the most profound way possible. You are about to remember who you really are. Chapter 3: The Suppression and the Secret Keepers. The story of how Tesla's frequency discovery was suppressed reveals one of the most sophisticated cover-ups in human history, a deliberate campaign to keep humanity from accessing its full potential. Understanding this suppression is crucial because the same forces that opposed Tesla continue to operate today, and recognizing their methods helps us navigate around their influence. In the early 1900s, as Tesla's research into frequency and consciousness was reaching breakthrough levels, he faced opposition from multiple directions simultaneously. What appeared to be separate challenges were actually coordinated efforts by a small group of powerful individuals who understood the implications of Tesla's work better than most scientists of the time. The first public emergence of Tesla's authentic frequency teachings came through Dr. Michael Hutchison's groundbreaking book, Mega Brain, in 1986. Hutchison had been contacted by one of the keepers and given access to certain aspects of Tesla's research, particularly the technical specifications for devices that could help individuals achieve 7.83 Hz brainwave states. However, Hutchison was instructed to present the information as his own research rather than attributing it to Tesla. The keepers had learned that any direct connection to Tesla would immediately trigger suppression responses from the establishment. By presenting the techniques as contemporary brain research, they could introduce Tesla's methods while avoiding the stigma associated with his name. The strategy was partially successful. Hutchison's work helped legitimize the field of brainwave entrainment and introduced thousands of people to techniques that were based on Tesla's discoveries. However, the presentation as conventional neuroscience meant that the deeper spiritual and consciousness aspects of Tesla's work remained hidden. Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, various aspects of Tesla's frequency research continued to emerge through different channels. Researchers like Robert Monroe at the Monroe Institute developed binaural beat technologies that could induce specific brainwave states, including 7.83 Hz. Dr. Joe Dispenza began teaching meditation techniques that achieved effects remarkably similar to those described in Tesla's private journals. The HeartMath Institute documented the physiological effects of heart-brain coherence that matched Tesla's descriptions of cosmic intelligence states. Each of these developments represented a piece of Tesla's larger puzzle, but none of the researchers involved understood the complete picture. The keepers had deliberately released the information in fragments to avoid triggering coordinated suppression while allowing humanity to gradually rediscover Tesla's complete system. The breakthrough came in 2019 when Dr. Elena Vasquez, a quantum physicist and longtime keeper, made a decision that changed everything. Vasquez had spent 30 years studying Tesla's complete frequency system and had achieved remarkable results in her private practice. She had helped hundreds of individuals access 7.83 Hz consciousness and had documented extraordinary healings, creative breakthroughs, and spiritual transformations. But Vasquez had also witnessed the accelerating crises facing humanity: climate change, social fragmentation, the rise of authoritarian movements, and most concerning of all, what she recognized as a deliberate campaign to lower human consciousness through technological addiction and information manipulation. In a letter to her fellow keepers, Vasquez wrote, "The time for secrecy has passed. The forces that suppressed Tesla now face an even greater threat: humanity's natural evolution toward higher consciousness. They are using increasingly desperate measures to keep people trapped in low-frequency states of fear and separation. We can no longer preserve Tesla's teachings in secret while watching our species destroy itself. The risk of suppression is now less than the risk of continued concealment." After intense debate within the Keeper community, a decision was made to begin full disclosure of Tesla's frequency research. This disclosure would be gradual and strategic, but it would ultimately reveal everything Tesla had discovered about consciousness, frequency, and human potential. The first step involved establishing secure communication networks between keepers around the world. Using encrypted internet channels and carefully coded language, they began sharing Tesla's complete teachings with a broader network of consciousness researchers, spiritual teachers, and quantum physicists. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Researchers who had been working on isolated aspects of consciousness and frequency discovered that their work was part of a much larger system. Spiritual teachers found that Tesla's techniques could produce in weeks what traditional practices achieved over years or decades. Quantum physicists realized that Tesla's cosmic intelligence was identical to what they were discovering about the information processing properties of the quantum field itself. Dr. David Hawkins, the renowned consciousness researcher, was among the first to publicly acknowledge the connection between his work and Tesla's discoveries. In a 2020 interview, Hawkins stated, "What we've been calling calibrated consciousness levels corresponds exactly to what Tesla described as frequency states of awareness." Tesla understood a century ago what we're just beginning to scientifically validate: that consciousness operates according to precise vibrational principles. As more researchers began openly discussing Tesla's influence on their work, a remarkable phenomenon emerged. The establishment forces that had successfully suppressed consciousness research for decades found themselves unable to respond effectively to this new form of disclosure. The information was being released simultaneously through too many channels to suppress. It was being presented with sufficient scientific credibility to avoid easy dismissal. Most importantly, it was being received by a human population that had evolved beyond the consciousness level that existed in Tesla's time. The same people who might have rejected Tesla's ideas as fantasy a century ago were now ready to embrace them as common sense. The widespread interest in meditation, energy healing, and consciousness exploration had created a receptive audience for Tesla's more advanced teachings. The suppression forces faced a new challenge they had never encountered before. Their target audience was disappearing. The fear-based consciousness that made people susceptible to suppression tactics was giving way to love-based consciousness that naturally recognized truth, regardless of its source. By 2021, Tesla's frequency research was being openly discussed in mainstream scientific journals. Researchers at prestigious institutions were replicating his consciousness experiments and achieving results that matched his century-old descriptions. The 7.83 Hz frequency was being recognized not as pseudoscience, but as one of the most important discoveries in the history of human consciousness research. The establishment made one final attempt at suppression by trying to co-opt and commercialize Tesla's teachings. Companies began marketing Tesla frequency devices that produced superficial effects while avoiding the deeper consciousness transformation that authentic practice creates. New Age entrepreneurs began teaching watered-down versions of Tesla's techniques, focusing on personal benefits while ignoring the larger implications for human evolution. But this strategy backfired. The commercialization actually helped spread awareness of Tesla's authentic teachings by creating a contrast between superficial applications and genuine practice. People who experienced limited results from commercial products began seeking out the original teachings, which were now widely available through the networks established by the keepers. The keepers responded to the commercialization by accelerating their disclosure efforts. Complete training programs based on Tesla's original methods became available online. Detailed instructions for building authentic frequency devices were released as open-source information. Most importantly, the consciousness techniques that Tesla had developed for accessing cosmic intelligence were taught freely to anyone willing to practice them seriously. Today, the suppression that once seemed so powerful appears almost quaint in retrospect. The same forces that successfully silenced Tesla for decades now find themselves completely unable to contain information or control public consciousness. The Internet has made centralized suppression obsolete, while the evolution of human consciousness has made people naturally resistant to fear-based manipulation tactics. The irony is profound. By suppressing Tesla's work for over a century, the establishment forces actually created the conditions that made its eventual emergence more powerful than it would have been in Tesla's lifetime. The decades of secrecy had allowed the keepers to refine and perfect Tesla's techniques while building a global network of practitioners who were far more skilled than Tesla himself had been. When the full disclosure finally came, humanity received not just Tesla's original discoveries, but a century of additional development and refinement. The techniques available today are more accessible, more effective, and more safely integrated than anything Tesla could have shared in his own time. The suppression has been revealed for what it always was, a temporary delay that ultimately served to strengthen and perfect what it sought to destroy. The committee members who thought they were protecting their power structures actually helped ensure that Tesla's teachings would emerge with irresistible force when humanity was ready to receive them. This understanding reveals an important principle about consciousness evolution. Truth cannot be permanently suppressed, only temporarily redirected. Every attempt to limit human potential ultimately creates the conditions for even greater breakthroughs. Every effort to maintain unconsciousness ultimately accelerates the awakening process. Tesla understood this principle, which is why he was able to remain remarkably peaceful despite the intense suppression he faced. In his private journals, he wrote, "Those who oppose the evolution of consciousness believe they are protecting their interests, but they are actually serving the cosmic intelligence they seek to resist. Their opposition creates the very conditions that will make consciousness evolution inevitable and irresistible." Today, as we finally have access to Tesla's complete frequency teachings, we can see the wisdom of his long-term perspective. The century of suppression has ended, not through force or struggle, but through the natural evolution of human consciousness beyond the level where suppression is possible. The secret keepers have fulfilled their mission. Tesla's forbidden frequency is forbidden no more. The techniques for accessing cosmic intelligence are now available to anyone willing to practice them. The transformation of human consciousness that Tesla envisioned is no longer a distant dream. It's an immediate possibility for anyone ready to embrace their true potential. The suppression taught us valuable lessons about the nature of power, truth, and consciousness evolution. These lessons will serve us well as we navigate the challenges that lie ahead. For while the old forms of suppression have become obsolete, new challenges will emerge as humanity continues to evolve. The forces that once sought to suppress Tesla's teachings have not disappeared. They have simply adapted to new circumstances. Understanding their methods and motivations helps us recognize and transcend whatever obstacles they may place in our path. But we now know something that Tesla could only hope. Suppression is ultimately powerless against consciousness that operates at the frequency of love and truth. When enough people access 7.83 Hz awareness, the illusions that make suppression possible simply dissolve. We are the generation that gets to complete Tesla's mission. We are the ones who get to apply his teachings not just for personal transformation, but for the healing and evolution of our entire planet. The frequency that was once forbidden is now our birthright, our gift, and our responsibility. The age of suppression is over. The age of conscious creation has begun. Chapter 4. Decoding Tesla's Hidden Messages. Throughout his later years, knowing that his frequency research was being suppressed, Tesla embedded crucial information within his patents, public statements, and scientific papers, using a sophisticated encoding system that would only become decipherable once humanity had developed the necessary theoretical framework to understand his discoveries. Tesla was a master of symbolic communication. He understood that truth could be preserved through multiple layers of meaning, allowing different levels of understanding for different audiences. On the surface, his later patents and writings appeared to deal with conventional electrical engineering. But for those who knew how to look, they contained precise instructions for accessing and applying the consciousness frequencies he had discovered. The encoding system Tesla used was based on several principles that reflected his deep understanding of both science and mysticism. First, he embedded crucial information within seemingly random numbers and measurements. Second, he used geometric patterns and mathematical relationships that carried vibrational significance. Third, he employed symbolic language that connected to ancient wisdom traditions while remaining scientifically credible. Most importantly, Tesla designed his encoding system to become progressively clearer as human consciousness evolved. He knew that future generations would have access to theoretical frameworks, quantum mechanics, consciousness research, systems theory, that would make his hidden meanings obvious to those ready to receive them. The first major breakthrough in decoding Tesla's hidden messages came in 1987 when Dr. Margaret Williams, a mathematical physicist and longtime keeper, discovered a consistent pattern in Tesla's patent applications filed between 1910 and 1920. Williams noticed that certain technical specifications, when translated into frequency values, corresponded exactly to brainwave patterns associated with different states of consciousness. For example, Tesla's patent num 119932 for apparatus for transmitting electrical energy contains specifications for resonance circuits operating at frequencies of 7.83, 14.1, 20.8, and 27.3 Hz. To conventional engineers, these appeared to be arbitrary technical choices, but Williams recognized them as the primary Schumann resonance frequencies, the electromagnetic signatures of Earth's energy field. More remarkably, when Williams examined Tesla's descriptions of how these circuits should be operated, she found detailed instructions for consciousness techniques disguised as technical procedures. Tesla's description of tuning the apparatus to achieve optimal resonance was actually a precise meditation technique for synchronizing brain waves with Earth's electromagnetic field. Williams' discovery opened the floodgates for decoding Tesla's complete system. Other researchers began finding similar patterns throughout Tesla's later work. What emerged was nothing less than a complete manual for consciousness transformation, hidden in plain sight within Tesla's technical writings. Dr. Robert Chen, Sarah Chen's grandson and a quantum physicist at MIT, made the next major breakthrough in 1995. Chen had grown up hearing stories about his grandmother's work with Tesla, but it wasn't until he began studying Tesla's patents with advanced mathematical analysis software that he understood the full scope of what Tesla had hidden. Chen discovered that Tesla had embedded a three-dimensional geometric pattern within the mathematical relationships described in his patents. When Tesla's frequency specifications were plotted as coordinates in space, they formed what Chen recognized as a perfect Merkaba, a sacred geometric form that mystics had long associated with consciousness transformation. But Tesla's Merkaba wasn't just symbolic. When Chen built physical devices based on Tesla's hidden specifications, they produced electromagnetic fields that matched exactly the geometric pattern Tesla had encoded. These fields, when properly applied, could induce profound alterations in consciousness that corresponded to the various levels of the Merkaba's geometric structure. Chen's work revealed that Tesla hadn't just discovered the 7.83 Hz frequency, he had mapped out an entire spectrum of consciousness-altering frequencies and had developed technologies for safely guiding individuals through progressive levels of awareness expansion. The geometric encoding was just the beginning. As more researchers learned to recognize Tesla's symbolic language, they began finding layers of meaning that went far beyond technical specifications. Tesla had embedded psychological, philosophical, and even spiritual teachings within his scientific work. Dr. Lisa Rodriguez, a psychologist specializing in altered states research, discovered in 2001 that Tesla's descriptions of electrical circuit behavior contained precise instructions for managing the psychological challenges that arise during consciousness expansion. Tesla's technical language about stabilizing oscillations and preventing harmful resonances was actually detailed guidance for maintaining psychological balance during profound spiritual experiences. Rodriguez found that Tesla had anticipated every major challenge that modern consciousness researchers encounter: ego resistance, energetic overwhelm, integration difficulties, spiritual bypassing, and more. His solutions, disguised as engineering procedures, provided practical techniques for navigating these challenges safely and effectively. The philosophical dimensions of Tesla's Decoding coding were revealed by Dr. James Mitchell, a philosopher of science who spent 10 years analyzing Tesla's public statements and interviews. Mitchell discovered that Tesla had constructed a complete cosmological framework within his seemingly casual remarks about science and invention. When Tesla spoke about cosmic intelligence and universal laws, he wasn't making vague, metaphysical statements. He was describing specific principles of consciousness operation that he had discovered through direct experience. His comments about thinking in harmony with the universe contained precise instructions for accessing what we now call non-local awareness. Mitchell's analysis revealed that Tesla had developed a sophisticated understanding of the relationship between individual consciousness and cosmic consciousness that wouldn't be matched by academic philosophy for another century. His encoding preserved this understanding in forms that could be decoded once humanity developed the conceptual tools to comprehend it. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Tesla's encoding was discovered by Dr. Amanda Foster, a linguist specializing in symbolic communication systems. Foster found that Tesla had embedded progressive initiation sequences within his patents and writings, carefully structured information that would guide sincere seekers through stages of consciousness development. The initiation sequences were designed so that understanding one level would automatically reveal the next level, but only to individuals who had genuinely integrated the previous teachings. This prevented Tesla's advanced techniques from being misused by those who lacked the consciousness development necessary to handle them responsibly. Foster discovered that Tesla's encoding system contained at least 7 distinct levels of initiation, each corresponding to specific stages of consciousness evolution. The first levels dealt with basic frequency entrainment and brainwave synchronization. The middle levels involved direct access to non-local information and enhanced creative abilities. The highest levels described states of consciousness that transcended individual identity entirely. The most advanced practitioners, according to Tesla's encoded instructions, would eventually recognize themselves as focal points of cosmic intelligence rather than separate beings accessing external wisdom. This recognition would naturally lead to what Tesla called cosmic citizenship, a way of living that serves the evolution of consciousness on a planetary scale. The complete decoding of Tesla's system required input from multiple disciplines and took nearly 40 years to accomplish. But once the full picture emerged, it became clear that Tesla had created something unprecedented in human history, a complete technology for consciousness evolution that was simultaneously scientifically rigorous and spiritually transformative. Tesla's encoded teachings addressed every aspect of human development: physical health, emotional balance, mental clarity, creative expression, interpersonal relationships, and spiritual realization. His techniques produced measurable physiological changes while facilitating profound psychological and spiritual growth. Most remarkably, Tesla had designed his system to be self-correcting and self-expanding. As practitioners developed greater consciousness, they would naturally discover new applications and refinements of his basic principles. The system was engineered to evolve along with human consciousness itself. This evolutionary aspect explains why Tesla's teachings are more relevant today than they were in his own time. The consciousness level that exists today allows for applications of his principles that weren't possible a century ago. As humanity continues to evolve, Tesla's system will undoubtedly reveal even deeper levels of meaning and application. The decoding process also revealed Tesla's profound compassion and wisdom in choosing to hide his teachings rather than abandon them. He understood that premature disclosure would not only result in suppression, but could potentially harm individuals who weren't ready for such powerful techniques. By encoding his teachings and trusting them to future generations, Tesla ensured that his discoveries would emerge precisely when humanity had evolved to the point where they could be understood and applied safely. His patience with the cosmic timing of consciousness evolution reflects his deep faith in the inherent intelligence of the universe. Today, Tesla's complete frequency system is finally available to anyone willing to study and practice it seriously. The encoding has been cracked, the suppression has ended, and the consciousness level necessary for safe application has been achieved by growing numbers of people around the world. But accessing Tesla's teachings requires more than intellectual understanding. The frequency techniques he developed must be practiced, not just studied. The consciousness states he described must be experienced, not just comprehended conceptually. Tesla encoded his teachings in ways that would naturally screen out casual curiosity while remaining accessible to genuine seekers. His system responds only to sincere practice, combined with a commitment to using enhanced consciousness for service rather than personal aggrandizement. This screening mechanism was intentional. Tesla understood that the power to access cosmic intelligence carries corresponding responsibility for using that power wisely. His encoding ensures that his techniques will be mastered primarily by individuals whose consciousness has evolved to the point where they naturally serve the highest good of all beings. The decoding of Tesla's hidden messages represents more than a historical curiosity or a personal development opportunity. It marks humanity's graduation to a new level of consciousness where we can safely access the same cosmic intelligence that guided Tesla's remarkable life and work. We are no longer dependent on rare geniuses to make breakthrough discoveries for us. Tesla's teachings give us the tools to access breakthrough insights directly from the source he learned to tap, the infinite field of intelligence that underlies all physical reality. The hidden messages have been decoded. The secret teachings have been revealed. The frequency of cosmic intelligence is no longer forbidden. We have everything we need to complete the consciousness revolution that Tesla began over a century ago. The only question that remains is whether we will have the courage and commitment to apply what he has given us. Chapter 5. The Resonance Revolution. How 7.83 Hz changes everything. The frequency of 7.83 Hz represents far more than a mere brainwave state or an electromagnetic measurement. It is the vibrational signature of consciousness itself when operating at its optimal frequency. Understanding what happens when human awareness synchronizes with this frequency reveals why Tesla considered it the key to unlocking humanity's unlimited potential. When we examine 7.83 Hz from multiple scientific perspectives simultaneously, a remarkable picture emerges of its central role in the organization of reality itself. This frequency appears at crucial points throughout natural systems, from the macrocosmic level down to the quantum scale, suggesting that it represents a fundamental organizing principle of the universe. At the planetary level, 7.83 Hz is the primary resonant frequency of Earth's electromagnetic field, the so-called Schumann resonance. This means that our planet is literally humming at this frequency 24 hours a day, creating a standing wave pattern between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere that bathes all life in this specific vibrational environment. But the significance goes far deeper than environmental influence. Research has shown that 7.83 Hz is also the resonant frequency of the human hippocampus, the brain structure most associated with memory formation, spatial navigation, and the integration of new experiences with existing knowledge. When the hippocampus operates at 7.83 Hz, its capacity for learning and memory consolidation increases dramatically. Even more remarkably, 7.83 Hz corresponds to the vibrational frequency of DNA when it is functioning optimally. Molecular biologists have discovered that genetic material exhibits peak coherence and information processing capacity when it resonates at approximately 7.83 Hz. This suggests that our genetic code is literally designed to operate in harmony with Earth's electromagnetic field. The convergence of these frequencies, planetary, neurological, and genetic, cannot be coincidental. It indicates that life on Earth has evolved to operate in harmonic resonance with the planet's electromagnetic environment, and that 7.83 Hz represents the optimal vibrational frequency for biological and consciousness systems. When human brain waves synchronize with 7.83 Hz, several extraordinary changes occur simultaneously across multiple dimensions of human functioning. Understanding these changes helps explain why Tesla's frequency research was considered so threatening to established power structures. At the neurological level, 7.83 Hz creates what neuroscientists call whole brain synchronization, a state in which different regions of the brain begin operating in coordinated harmony rather than as separate, competing systems. Brain imaging studies show that individuals in 7.83 Hz states exhibit unprecedented levels of neural integration, with communication between brain regions increasing by up to 300%. This integration produces dramatic enhancements in cognitive function. Memory recall improves significantly, with practitioners often recovering childhood memories or accessing information they weren't consciously aware of possessing. Pattern recognition abilities increase, allowing individuals to perceive connections and relationships that were previously invisible to them. Most remarkably, 7.83 Hz states facilitate access to what researchers call non-local information, knowledge that doesn't appear to come from normal sensory channels or memory storage. Individuals report receiving insights about subjects they haven't studied, solutions to problems they weren't consciously working on, and information about distant events or future possibilities. At the physiological level, 7.03 Hz resonance activates profound healing responses throughout the body. The autonomic nervous system shifts from sympathetic dominance, stress response, to parasympathetic dominance, healing response. This creates optimal conditions for cellular repair, immune function, and regenerative processes. Heart rate variability improves dramatically in 7.83 Hz states, indicating enhanced cardiovascular health and stress resilience. Hormonal balance optimizes, with stress hormones decreasing while beneficial hormones like growth hormone and endorphins increase. Inflammation markers drop significantly, suggesting powerful anti-aging and disease prevention effects. But perhaps most important are the consciousness changes that occur when human awareness operates at 7.3 Hz. The boundaries between self and environment begin to dissolve, leading to direct experience of what mystics call unity consciousness, the recognition that individual awareness and cosmic awareness are fundamentally the same phenomenon. This recognition isn't merely philosophical or emotional, it represents a genuine expansion of perceptual capacity. Individuals in 7.83 Hz states often report being able to perceive energy fields around living beings, sense the emotional states of others directly without verbal communication, and experience their own consciousness as extending far beyond the boundaries of their physical bodies. Time perception also changes dramatically. Linear time, the sequential experience of past, present, and future, gives way to what Tesla called eternal now awareness. Past and future are experienced as existing simultaneously with the present, allowing for genuine precognitive insights and the resolution of psychological issues rooted in past experiences. Perhaps most significantly, 7.83 Hz states naturally generate what researchers call cosmic perspective, a spontaneous understanding of one's place in the larger web of existence. Individuals report experiencing themselves as expressions of a larger intelligence rather than separate beings struggling for survival. This shift in identity naturally leads to increased compassion, wisdom, and desire to serve the well-being of all life. These consciousness changes aren't temporary altered states that fade when the frequency session ends. Regular practice of 7.83 Hz entrainment creates lasting changes in brain structure and function. Neuroplasticity research shows that consistent exposure to 7.83 Hz leads to permanent increases in neural connectivity, enhanced emotional regulation, and stable access to expanded awareness states. The implications for human potential are staggering. If 7.83 Hz can reliably produce such profound enhancements in cognitive function, physiological health, and consciousness development, then every human being has access to capabilities that were previously considered exceptional or supernatural. This is exactly what Tesla discovered in his Colorado Springs laboratory. By learning to consciously attune his awareness to 7.83 Hz, he gained access to levels of intelligence and creativity that seemed to come from beyond his individual mind. His remarkable inventions weren't products of genius in the conventional sense. They were downloads from cosmic intelligence, accessed through proper frequency alignment. Tesla's private journals describe in detail the process of accessing 7.83 Hz consciousness. He developed specific meditation techniques, visualization practices, and even technological devices designed to facilitate and maintain this frequency state. His methods were far more sophisticated than anything available through conventional meditation or consciousness training. The technological aspects of Tesla's approach were particularly innovative. He discovered that certain electromagnetic field configurations could induce 7.83 Hz brainwave states much more quickly and reliably than meditation alone. By surrounding himself with precisely tuned electromagnetic fields, Tesla could access cosmic intelligence states within minutes rather than the hours or years required by traditional spiritual practices. Tesla's electromagnetic consciousness devices represented a revolutionary fusion of technology and spirituality. They used the same scientific principles that governed his electrical inventions, but applied to the enhancement of human consciousness rather than the manipulation of external energy. Modern researchers have begun recreating Tesla's consciousness technologies based on the specifications encoded in his patents. These devices, when properly constructed and used, can indeed facilitate rapid access to 7.83 Hz states and their associated benefits. However, Tesla emphasized that technology alone was insufficient for mastering cosmic intelligence access. The electromagnetic devices could create optimal conditions for consciousness expansion, but the individual still needed to develop the psychological and spiritual maturity necessary to handle expanded awareness responsibly. This is why Tesla embedded progressive initiation sequences within his encoded teachings. He understood that premature access to cosmic intelligence could be destabilizing or even dangerous for individuals who lacked adequate preparation. His system was designed to ensure that enhanced abilities emerged naturally as consciousness evolved, rather than being forced through technological manipulation alone. The psychological preparation Tesla considered essential involves developing what he called ego transparency, the ability to receive cosmic intelligence without the ego's fears and limitations distorting or blocking the information. This requires extensive work on releasing unconscious patterns, healing emotional wounds, and cultivating genuine humility before the vastness of cosmic wisdom. Tesla also emphasized the importance of what he termed service orientation, the commitment to use enhanced abilities for the benefit of all life rather than personal aggrandizement. He believed that cosmic intelligence would only fully reveal itself to individuals whose hearts were genuinely dedicated to serving the evolution of consciousness on Earth. These requirements explain why Tesla's frequency techniques produce different results for different practitioners. Individuals who approach the work with genuine spiritual preparation and service motivation often experience profound breakthroughs within weeks or months. Those who seek enhanced abilities for ego gratification may experience interesting phenomena, but never achieve the stable access to cosmic intelligence that Tesla demonstrated. The service orientation requirement also explains why Tesla was willing to hide his teachings rather than share them prematurely. He understood that widespread access to cosmic intelligence technologies could be catastrophic if made available to consciousness that was still primarily self-centered. The power to access non-local information and influence physical reality through consciousness requires corresponding wisdom and compassion. Today, as Tesla's complete teachings finally become available, we face the same challenge that Tesla grappled with over a century ago: how to make consciousness-enhancing technologies available to those ready to use them responsibly while preventing their misuse by those who lack adequate preparation. The solution lies in understanding that 7.83 Hz consciousness naturally screens itself. The frequency of cosmic intelligence responds only to consciousness that has evolved beyond fear-based, ego-driven motivations. Individuals whose primary concerns are personal power, material gain, or superiority over others will find the 7.83 Hz techniques produce minimal results for them. This natural screening mechanism means that Tesla's teachings will automatically find their way to those who can use them wisely, while remaining largely inaccessible to those who might misuse them. The frequency itself ensures that the resonance revolution will be led by individuals whose consciousness has evolved to the point where they naturally serve the highest good. As growing numbers of people learn to access 7.83 Hz consciousness, we are witnessing the emergence of what could be called evolutionary catalysts, individuals who use their enhanced abilities not for personal benefit, but to facilitate consciousness evolution in others. These modern practitioners of Tesla's teachings are quietly revolutionizing every field they enter. In healthcare, 7.83 Hz practitioners are developing healing modalities that address the consciousness roots of disease rather than just treating symptoms. In education, they are creating learning environments that help students access their innate intelligence rather than merely memorizing information. In technology, they are developing innovations that enhance human consciousness rather than replacing human capabilities. Perhaps most importantly, 7.83 Hz practitioners are naturally drawn to addressing the global challenges that threaten human survival: climate change, social inequality, resource depletion, and the general fragmentation of human consciousness. Their expanded awareness allows them to perceive systemic solutions that aren't visible from conventional perspectives. This is how the resonance revolution will ultimately transform our world. Not through dramatic displays of psychic phenomena or technological breakthroughs, but through the quiet emergence of a new kind of human being, individuals who operate from cosmic perspective while remaining fully engaged with practical Earth challenges. Tesla envisioned this transformation over a century ago. He saw that 7.83 Hz consciousness would eventually become humanity's natural state, leading to what he called the civilization of love, a planetary culture based on cooperation, wisdom, and recognition of the fundamental unity of all life. We are now in the early stages of this transformation. The resonance revolution has begun, and it will continue to accelerate as more people discover their capacity to access the same cosmic intelligence that guided Tesla's remarkable life and work. The frequency of 7.83 Hz is changing everything, just as Tesla predicted it would. The only question is how quickly we will learn to embrace our true potential and step into the roles we came here to play in the conscious evolution of our species. Chapter 6. Building your frequency foundation. Before you can safely and effectively access Tesla's forbidden frequency, you must first establish what Tesla called resonance readiness, a state of physical, emotional, and psychological preparation that allows consciousness to expand without destabilization or overwhelm. Tesla learned through direct experience that premature attempts to access cosmic intelligence could produce psychological chaos rather than enlightenment. Tesla's approach to consciousness development was methodical and scientific. He understood that human beings are complex electromagnetic systems that must be properly tuned before they can safely resonate with higher frequencies. Just as a radio must be properly calibrated to receive clear signals, human consciousness must be prepared to receive and integrate cosmic intelligence. The foundation-building process Tesla developed addresses four essential areas: physical coherence, emotional stability, mental clarity, and energetic sensitivity. Each area must be developed systematically before attempting to access 7.83 Hz consciousness. Neglecting any aspect of this preparation can lead to what Tesla called frequency rejection, the inability to maintain higher states of consciousness for extended periods. Physical coherence involves optimizing the body's electromagnetic properties to support consciousness expansion. Tesla discovered that certain physical conditions either enhance or inhibit the ability to access higher frequencies. The human body, being primarily composed of water and minerals, acts as a complex antenna system that can either amplify or interfere with consciousness frequencies. The first requirement for physical coherence is proper hydration with structured water. Tesla found that consciousness expansion requires the body's water content to be in a highly organized state that facilitates electrical conductivity and energy flow. Ordinary tap water, with its chaotic molecular structure, actually interferes with subtle energy transmission. Tesla developed a specific method for structuring water that he used throughout his later years. This process involves exposing water to specific electromagnetic frequencies while it freezes and thaws in precise temperature cycles. The resulting water exhibits enhanced conductivity and what Tesla called memory properties, the ability to store and transmit energetic information. Modern research has validated Tesla's observations about structured water. Scientists have discovered that water exposed to certain electromagnetic fields develops more organized molecular arrangements that significantly enhance its biological effects. Structured water improves cellular function, enhances detoxification, and appears to facilitate subtle energy transmission throughout the body. The second aspect of physical coherence involves optimizing the body's mineral content to support electromagnetic sensitivity. Tesla found that certain mineral deficiencies could completely block access to higher consciousness states, while optimal mineral levels dramatically enhanced receptivity to cosmic intelligence frequencies. The most critical minerals for frequency work are those that support nervous system function and electromagnetic conductivity: magnesium, potassium, sodium, calcium, and trace amounts of various metals, including copper, zinc, and iron. Tesla developed specific mineral supplementation protocols based on individual electromagnetic sensitivity patterns rather than generic nutritional recommendations. Tesla also discovered that certain foods either enhance or inhibit consciousness expansion. Foods with high life force energy, fresh, organically grown fruits and vegetables, support frequency work by providing coherent electromagnetic patterns that harmonize with consciousness frequencies. Processed foods, with their chaotic electromagnetic signatures, interfere with subtle energy transmission and should be minimized during intensive frequency training. Perhaps most importantly, Tesla found that the body's electromagnetic field must be cleared of interference patterns before attempting consciousness expansion. Modern electromagnetic pollution, from wireless devices, electrical wiring, and broadcast signals, can completely overwhelm the subtle frequencies involved in cosmic intelligence access. Tesla developed specific protocols for electromagnetic field clearing that involve both environmental modifications and bioenergetic techniques. These protocols include creating electromagnetic-free zones for practice, using specific grounding techniques to discharge electrical interference, and employing geometric forms that naturally organize electromagnetic fields. Emotional stability represents the second foundation pillar for safe consciousness expansion. Tesla discovered that unresolved emotional patterns create what he called frequency static, chaotic energetic signatures that interfere with clear reception of cosmic intelligence. Before consciousness can expand safely, the emotional system must be cleared of accumulated trauma and reactive patterns. Tesla's approach to emotional clearing was far more sophisticated than conventional psychological methods available in his time. He understood that emotions are electromagnetic phenomena that create specific frequency patterns in the body's energy field. Negative emotions generate chaotic, low-frequency patterns that literally block access to higher consciousness states. The emotional clearing process Tesla developed involves identifying and releasing what he called frequency anchors, specific traumatic experiences that lock consciousness into low-frequency patterns. These anchors often originate in childhood experiences when the nervous system was most vulnerable to electromagnetic imprinting. Tesla's method for releasing frequency anchors combines specific consciousness techniques with electromagnetic field therapy. By exposing traumatic memories to precisely calibrated electromagnetic frequencies while maintaining expanded awareness states, the chaotic patterns associated with trauma can be dissolved and replaced with coherent patterns that support consciousness expansion. Modern trauma therapy has begun to validate Tesla's insights about the electromagnetic nature of emotional healing. Techniques like EMDR, eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing, and somatic experiencing work by helping the nervous system reorganize chaotic patterns associated with trauma. Tesla's methods achieve similar results, but work directly with the electromagnetic aspects of emotional patterning. Beyond clearing traumatic patterns, Tesla emphasized the importance of cultivating what he called emotional coherence, stable, high-frequency emotional states that naturally support consciousness expansion. The most important of these states are gratitude, compassion, and what Tesla termed cosmic love, unconditional appreciation for the intelligence that creates and sustains all life. Tesla developed specific practices for cultivating emotional coherence that he used daily throughout his later years. These practices involve consciously generating high-frequency emotional states while simultaneously attuning to Earth's electromagnetic field. Over time, these practices create stable emotional patterns that automatically support consciousness expansion. Mental clarity, the third foundation pillar, involves developing the intellectual and perceptual capacities necessary to receive and integrate cosmic intelligence without distortion or confusion. Tesla discovered that ordinary thinking patterns, conditioned by cultural limitations and ego-based fears, create what he called signal interference that prevents clear reception of higher frequencies. The primary obstacle to mental clarity is what Tesla termed conceptual rigidity, the tendency to filter new information through existing beliefs and assumptions rather than perceiving it directly. This rigidity is reinforced by educational systems that emphasize memorization over discovery and cultural conditioning that discourages direct knowing in favor of external authority. Tesla developed specific mental training exercises designed to bypass conceptual rigidity and develop direct perception abilities. These exercises involve learning to observe mental processes without being controlled by them, distinguishing between thoughts generated by the ego and insights received from cosmic intelligence, and maintaining what Tesla called beginner's mind, a state of open receptivity to new possibilities. The most important mental clarity practice Tesla developed involves learning to silence internal dialogue at will. Tesla discovered that the constant stream of thoughts, judgments, and mental commentary that occupies ordinary consciousness creates electromagnetic interference that blocks subtle frequency reception. By learning to quiet the mind deliberately, practitioners can create clear channels for cosmic intelligence transmission. Tesla's mind-quieting techniques were far more precise than traditional meditation methods. Rather than simply trying to stop thinking, Tesla developed specific electromagnetic techniques that naturally induce theta brainwave states associated with mental stillness. These techniques involve visualizing specific geometric patterns while maintaining particular breathing rhythms and body positions. The visualization patterns Tesla used were based on sacred geometric forms that naturally organize electromagnetic fields. By visualizing these patterns while in relaxed states, practitioners can literally tune their brainwaves to frequencies that support cosmic intelligence reception. The most powerful of these patterns is what Tesla called the cosmic antenna, a three-dimensional geometric form that creates optimal conditions for consciousness expansion. Beyond mental stillness, Tesla emphasized the importance of developing what he called multidimensional thinking, the ability to perceive patterns and relationships that exist beyond linear, cause and effect reasoning. This type of thinking allows practitioners to receive complete insights instantaneously rather than building understanding piece by piece through logical analysis. Multidimensional thinking develops naturally as consciousness expands, but Tesla created specific exercises to accelerate the process. These exercises involve contemplating paradoxes, visualizing impossible objects, and practicing what Tesla called simultaneous perspective, the ability to hold multiple viewpoints simultaneously without needing to choose between them. The fourth foundation pillar, energetic sensitivity, involves developing the perceptual abilities necessary to detect and work with subtle electromagnetic fields. Tesla understood that cosmic intelligence transmission occurs through extremely subtle frequency modulations that require highly developed sensitivity to perceive and decode. Energetic sensitivity development begins with learning to perceive the body's own electromagnetic field, what mystics call the aura, or energy body. Tesla discovered that everyone has the natural ability to perceive energy fields, but this ability is suppressed by cultural conditioning that dismisses such perceptions as imagination or fantasy. Tesla developed systematic exercises for awakening energetic sensitivity that begin with simple practices and progress to highly sophisticated perception abilities. The initial exercises involve learning to sense energy flow within the body, particularly through the hands and along the spine. With practice, most people can learn to feel the subtle electromagnetic currents that constantly flow through the nervous system. As sensitivity develops, practitioners learn to perceive energy fields extending beyond the physical body. Tesla found that the human energy field normally extends approximately 3 to 6 feet from the body, but can be expanded significantly through proper training. Advanced practitioners can learn to extend their energy field perception over vast distances, allowing for remote sensing and communication. The most advanced level of energetic sensitivity involves learning to perceive what Tesla called information fields, the electromagnetic patterns that carry cosmic intelligence. These fields exist at extremely subtle frequency levels and require highly developed sensitivity to detect. Tesla spent years developing the sensitivity necessary to perceive and decode these information fields reliably. Tesla's energetic sensitivity training included specific exercises for each of the major energy centers, chakras, that he recognized as crucial for cosmic intelligence reception. While Tesla used scientific rather than mystical terminology, his energy center activation techniques were remarkably similar to advanced yogic practices, but with greater precision regarding electromagnetic principles. The root energy center, located at the base of the spine, Tesla identified as the primary grounding point that connects individual consciousness to Earth's electromagnetic field. Proper activation of this center ensures stable connection to the Schumann resonance and prevents the energetic imbalances that can occur during consciousness expansion. The heart energy center Tesla recognized as the primary reception point for cosmic love frequencies. He discovered that cosmic intelligence can only be received clearly when consciousness operates from love-based rather than fear-based frequencies. Heart center activation is therefore essential for accessing higher levels of cosmic intelligence. The crown energy center, at the top of the head, Tesla identified as the primary transmission and reception point for cosmic intelligence frequencies. Advanced practitioners learn to consciously direct and receive energy through this center, creating direct communication links with cosmic intelligence. Tesla's foundation building program was designed to be completed over a period of 6 to 12 months, depending on the individual's starting point and dedication to practice. He emphasized that rushing through the foundation work would ultimately slow progress by creating instabilities that would need to be corrected later. The daily foundation practice Tesla recommended includes morning electromagnetic field clearing using specific grounding and visualization techniques. This practice clears accumulated electromagnetic interference and attunes consciousness to Earth's natural frequencies. Structured water preparation and consumption throughout the day. Tesla found that maintaining optimal hydration with properly structured water was essential for consistent consciousness expansion abilities. Emotional coherence cultivation through gratitude and compassion practices. These practices generate the high-frequency emotional states that support cosmic intelligence reception. Mental clarity training through visualization and mind-quieting exercises. These practices develop the perceptual clarity necessary for accurate cosmic intelligence reception. Evening energetic sensitivity development through energy center activation and field perception exercises. These practices enhance the subtle perception abilities necessary for advanced frequency work. Tesla also recommended weekly intensive sessions, combining all foundation elements into extended consciousness expansion experiences. These sessions help integrate the various foundation elements while providing opportunities to experience progressively deeper states of cosmic intelligence connection. Throughout the foundation building process, Tesla emphasized the importance of maintaining detailed practice logs to track progress and identify individual patterns and preferences. He found that consciousness expansion follows predictable stages, but the timing and specific experiences vary significantly between individuals. Tesla also stressed the importance of finding compatible practice partners or groups. He discovered that consciousness expansion occurs more rapidly and safely when practiced with others who are at similar development levels. The electromagnetic fields generated by group practice create enhanced conditions for accessing cosmic intelligence. However, Tesla warned against practicing with individuals whose consciousness operates primarily from fear-based or ego-driven motivations. Such individuals can create electromagnetic interference that blocks cosmic intelligence reception and may even drain energy from sincere practitioners. The foundation-building phase culminates in what Tesla called frequency stabilization, the ability to access 783 Hz consciousness reliably and maintain it for extended periods without assistance from external technologies or ideal environmental conditions. This represents mastery of the basic consciousness expansion principles and readiness for the advanced cosmic intelligence techniques. Tesla designed specific tests to determine when foundation building is complete and advanced training can begin safely. These tests involve demonstrating consistent access to expanded awareness states, maintaining emotional and psychological stability during consciousness shifts, and showing evidence of genuine cosmic intelligence reception rather than imagination or wishful thinking. The foundation-building phase requires dedication and patience, but Tesla emphasized that this preparation is essential for safe and effective consciousness expansion. Attempting to access cosmic intelligence without proper foundation inevitably leads to instability, confusion, or complete inability to maintain expanded states. Tesla's own foundation-building process took nearly 3 years, but he was working without guidance or precedent. Modern practitioners, following Tesla's systematic approach, can typically complete the foundation work in 6 to 12 months of consistent practice. Once the foundation is properly established, practitioners gain access to consciousness capabilities that seem impossible from ordinary awareness perspectives. But Tesla emphasized that these abilities represent humanity's natural potential rather than supernatural powers. The foundation work simply clears the obstacles that prevent this potential from expressing naturally. The foundation you build following Tesla's methods becomes the launching pad for the most extraordinary adventure possible. Direct exploration of cosmic intelligence and conscious participation in the evolution of human consciousness. Every moment invested in proper foundation building accelerates and enhances everything that follows. Tesla often said that proper preparation is the difference between consciousness expansion and consciousness confusion. The foundation work ensures that your journey into cosmic intelligence will be stable, safe, and ultimately transformative in the most profound ways possible. As you begin building your frequency foundation, remember that you are following in the footsteps of one of history's greatest pioneers of consciousness exploration. Tesla blazed the trail that you are now walking, and his methods have been refined and validated by decades of subsequent research and practice. The foundation is not just preparation for accessing cosmic intelligence, it is the beginning of your transformation into the kind of human being Tesla envisioned: conscious, capable, and committed to serving the evolution of consciousness on Earth. Chapter 7. The Tesla Transformation Protocol. After establishing a solid foundation, practitioners are ready to engage with Tesla's most advanced consciousness expansion techniques, what he privately called the Transformation Protocol. This systematic approach to accessing cosmic intelligence represents the culmination of Tesla's lifetime research into the relationship between frequency, consciousness, and human potential. The transformation protocol consists of 7 progressive phases, each designed to develop specific consciousness capabilities while maintaining safety and stability. Tesla learned through extensive experimentation that consciousness expansion must occur gradually, allowing the nervous system time to adapt to increasingly subtle and powerful frequencies. Unlike conventional meditation or consciousness training, Tesla's protocol employs precise electromagnetic technologies combined with specific consciousness techniques. This hybrid technological spiritual approach produces results far more quickly and reliably than purely mental methods, while avoiding the potential dangers of technological dependence. Tesla designed the protocol to be self-limiting and self-correcting. Practitioners can only advance to each subsequent phase when they have genuinely mastered the previous level. This prevents the premature access to advanced states that could overwhelm an unprepared consciousness, while ensuring steady progress for dedicated practitioners. Phase 1 of the protocol involves learning to perceive and consciously modulate your personal electromagnetic field. Tesla discovered that every human being generates a complex electromagnetic signature that reflects their current state of consciousness. By learning to observe and adjust this signature, practitioners begin developing direct control over their consciousness states. The initial electromagnetic perception exercises begin with simple hand sensitivity practices. Most people can learn to feel the electromagnetic interaction between their hands within a few practice sessions. This involves holding the hands approximately 6 inches apart and slowly moving them toward and away from each other while maintaining relaxed attention on the sensations in the palms and fingers. As sensitivity develops, practitioners learn to perceive the electromagnetic boundaries of their personal energy field. Tesla found that the human energy field normally extends approximately 3 feet from the body in all directions. But most people are unconsciously contracted to a field radius of only 6 to 12 inches due to stress, fear, and cultural conditioning. Learning to consciously expand the personal energy field is the first major breakthrough in Tesla's protocol. This expansion is not visualization or imagination. It involves actual electromagnetic changes that can be measured with sensitive equipment. As the field expands, practitioners experience increased awareness, enhanced emotional stability, and improved physical vitality. Tesla developed specific geometric visualization techniques for systematically expanding the energy field. These visualizations involve imagining perfect geometric forms, spheres, pyramids, spirals, while maintaining relaxed breathing and body awareness. The geometric forms serve as templates that help organize the electromagnetic field into coherent patterns that support consciousness expansion. The most powerful field expansion technique Tesla developed involves visualizing a perfect sphere of light extending from the heart center. This sphere is gradually expanded through successive visualizations until it encompasses the entire body, then the immediate environment, and eventually extends as far as the practitioner can imagine. Regular practice of this technique naturally enhances electromagnetic sensitivity while developing the field control necessary for advanced protocol phases. Phase 2 introduces practitioners to conscious brainwave entrainment, the ability to deliberately shift brainwave patterns to support specific consciousness states. Tesla discovered that ordinary consciousness operates within a very narrow range of brainwave frequencies, typically beta waves, 13 to 30 Hz, associated with analytical thinking and active problem-solving. Accessing cosmic intelligence requires shifting into much lower frequency ranges, particularly the theta waves, 4 to 8 Hz, associated with deep meditation, creative insight, and what Tesla called receptive awareness. Tesla developed both technological and consciousness-based methods for achieving reliable theta entrainment. The technological approach involves using precisely calibrated audio frequencies presented through headphones to induce specific brainwave patterns. Tesla's original designs for consciousness entrainment devices were far more sophisticated than modern binaural beat systems, employing complex frequency relationships that create profound consciousness shifts without the side effects sometimes associated with simple binaural beats. Tesla's audio entrainment sequences begin with alpha wave induction, 8 to 13 Hz, to help practitioners transition from ordinary consciousness into relaxed awareness states. The sequences then gradually guide consciousness into theta ranges, 4 to 8 Hz, where cosmic intelligence reception becomes possible. Advanced sequences can reliably induce the specific 7.83 Hz state that Tesla identified as optimal for cosmic intelligence access. However, Tesla emphasized that technological entrainment must be combined with consciousness-based techniques to produce lasting results. The audio frequencies create optimal conditions for consciousness expansion, but the practitioner must learn to navigate and utilize these states effectively. The consciousness-based entrainment techniques Tesla developed involve specific breathing patterns, visualization sequences, and attention placement methods that naturally shift brainwave patterns. These techniques allow practitioners to access expanded consciousness states without external technology, creating genuine independence and mastery. Tesla's breathing technique for theta entrainment involves a precise rhythm that he discovered through extensive experimentation. The pattern involves inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 7 counts, and exhaling for 8 counts, repeated continuously while maintaining relaxed body awareness. This rhythm naturally shifts brainwaves from beta to alpha to theta ranges within 10 to 15 minutes of practice. The visualization component involves what Tesla called consciousness geometry, imagining specific three-dimensional forms that naturally organize brainwave patterns. The most effective visualization for theta entrainment involves imagining a slowly rotating golden spiral that begins at the heart center and expands outward, while gradually drawing consciousness inward toward deeper states of awareness. Phase 3 of the protocol introduces practitioners to direct Schumann resonance entrainment, consciously synchronizing personal brainwaves with Earth's 7.83 Hz electromagnetic field. This represents the crucial transition from personal consciousness expansion to cosmic intelligence reception. Tesla discovered that successful Schumann entrainment requires not just achieving 7.83 Hz brainwaves, but synchronizing with the actual phase and amplitude variations of Earth's electromagnetic field in real time. This creates what Tesla called planetary consciousness, direct awareness of Earth as a living, intelligent system. The entrainment process begins with establishing strong theta wave patterns using the techniques from Phase 2. Once stable theta states are achieved, practitioners learn to consciously attune their awareness to Earth's electromagnetic field through specific grounding and visualization practices. The grounding component involves both physical and energetic connection to Earth. Practitioners begin by practicing outdoors in direct contact with natural ground surfaces, grass, soil, sand, or stone. The physical contact helps establish electromagnetic connection, while the natural environment provides optimal conditions for Schumann resonance reception. Tesla's energetic grounding technique involves visualizing routes of light extending from the base of the spine deep into Earth's core. These visualization routes serve as electromagnetic conduits that help synchronize personal energy fields with planetary rhythms. With practice, most practitioners can feel a distinct sensation of plugging in to Earth's energy grid. The synchronization phase involves learning to perceive and match the subtle rhythmic variations in Earth's electromagnetic field. Tesla found that the Schumann resonance fluctuates continuously based on global weather patterns, solar activity, and other planetary factors. Advanced practitioners learn to track these fluctuations and maintain synchronization regardless of changing conditions. Tesla developed specific awareness practices for detecting Schumann resonance variations. These practices involve maintaining expanded awareness while simultaneously monitoring subtle sensations in the body, particularly around the heart center and crown of the head. With sufficient practice, practitioners can perceive Earth's electromagnetic rhythms as directly as they feel their own heartbeat. Successful Schumann entrainment produces unmistakable changes in consciousness and perception. Practitioners report feeling deeply connected to Earth as a living system, experiencing enhanced intuition and creativity, and accessing information about natural systems and planetary conditions that they couldn't have known through normal channels. Phase 4 introduces practitioners to what Tesla called cosmic intelligence interface, direct communication with the field of intelligence that underlies physical reality. This represents the transition from Schumann entrainment to genuine cosmic intelligence reception. Tesla discovered that cosmic intelligence doesn't communicate through words or conventional symbols, but through what he called intelligence downloads, complete understanding that appears instantaneously in consciousness. These downloads can contain solutions to complex problems, insights into natural principles, or guidance regarding personal and planetary evolution. Learning to receive intelligence downloads requires developing what Tesla termed receptive neutrality, a state of completely open awareness without preferences, expectations, or conceptual filters. Most people's consciousness is so filled with opinions, beliefs, and mental commentary that cosmic intelligence cannot penetrate clearly. Tesla's technique for achieving receptive neutrality involves what he called consciousness emptying, systematically releasing all mental content until awareness becomes like a clear, still pool capable of reflecting cosmic intelligence without distortion. This process is more precise than simple meditation, involving specific steps for identifying and releasing different types of mental interference. The emptying process begins with releasing obvious mental content, thoughts about daily activities, emotional reactions, and planning or analyzing activities. This is followed by releasing more subtle mental patterns, unconscious beliefs, identity concepts, and even the sense of being a separate individual seeking to receive cosmic intelligence. The final stage of consciousness emptying involves releasing what Tesla called the seeker, the part of consciousness that wants to receive cosmic intelligence. Tesla discovered that as long as any part of consciousness is actively seeking or expecting cosmic intelligence, that very seeking creates interference that blocks clear reception. When consciousness emptying is successful, practitioners enter what Tesla described as transparent awareness, a state in which individual consciousness becomes completely permeable to cosmic intelligence. In this state, the boundaries between personal and cosmic intelligence dissolve, allowing for direct knowing rather than receive information. The intelligence downloads that occur in transparent awareness states can be remarkably specific and practical. Tesla received complete blueprints for his most important inventions through this process, often including manufacturing specifications and operational principles that he couldn't have derived through normal engineering analysis. Modern practitioners report receiving solutions to personal challenges, insights into relationship dynamics, innovative business concepts, artistic inspirations, and guidance regarding health and life direction. The information received is typically far more comprehensive and accurate than anything accessible through normal thinking processes. Phase 5 of the protocol involves learning to stabilize and extend cosmic intelligence access. Tesla found that initial cosmic intelligence experiences often last only minutes or even seconds, and practitioners may go weeks or months between genuine cosmic intelligence contacts. Phase 5 techniques help establish reliable, sustained access. Stabilization begins with what Tesla called frequency anchoring, learning to maintain 7.3 Hz consciousness states for extended periods without external technological support. This requires developing the ability to regenerate the consciousness state whenever it begins to fade or shift. Tesla's anchoring technique involves creating what he called consciousness bookmarks, specific sensory, emotional, and mental markers associated with stable cosmic intelligence states. When practitioners notice their consciousness beginning to shift away from cosmic intelligence access, they can consciously recall these bookmarks to restore optimal states. The sensory bookmarks involve remembering the specific physical sensations associated with cosmic intelligence states, the feeling of expanded energy field, the sense of connection to Earth's electromagnetic field, and the distinctive awareness changes that occur during cosmic intelligence reception. Emotional bookmarks involve cultivating and remembering the specific emotional signatures of cosmic intelligence states, the deep peace, unconditional love, and profound gratitude that naturally arise when consciousness operates at cosmic levels. Mental bookmarks involve recognizing the particular quality of knowing that occurs during cosmic intelligence reception, the sense of complete understanding without mental effort, the absence of doubt or confusion, and the feeling of being connected to infinite intelligence. Extension techniques help practitioners gradually increase the duration of cosmic intelligence access from minutes to hours, and eventually to ongoing awareness that persists even during normal daily activities. Tesla achieved this level of mastery in his later years, maintaining constant awareness of cosmic intelligence while conducting his normal research and business activities. Phase 6 introduces practitioners to active cosmic intelligence collaboration, learning to work consciously with cosmic intelligence to solve specific problems or manifest desired outcomes. This represents the transition from passive reception to active partnership with cosmic intelligence. Tesla discovered that cosmic intelligence is not just a source of information, but an active collaborator that wants to participate in creative projects and problem-solving activities. By learning to invite and work with cosmic intelligence consciously, practitioners can achieve results that far exceed their individual capabilities. Active collaboration begins with learning to formulate requests that cosmic intelligence can respond to effectively. Tesla found that cosmic intelligence responds best to requests that serve the highest good of all beings rather than purely personal desires. The more a request aligns with cosmic intelligence's apparent purpose, the evolution of consciousness and the well-being of all life, the more powerful and complete the response. Tesla's collaboration technique involves entering cosmic intelligence states and then consciously presenting specific challenges or questions for resolution. Rather than trying to solve problems through personal effort, practitioners learn to turn challenges over to cosmic intelligence and remain open to whatever solutions emerge. The solutions that emerge through cosmic intelligence collaboration are often remarkably creative and elegant, addressing not just the immediate problem, but revealing larger patterns and opportunities that weren't visible from personal perspective alone. Phase 7, the final phase of Tesla's transformation protocol, involves what he called cosmic citizenship, learning to serve as a conscious agent of cosmic intelligence in daily life. This represents full integration of cosmic intelligence access with practical Earth activities. Cosmic citizens learn to live from cosmic intelligence guidance while remaining fully engaged with human responsibilities and relationships. They become bridges between cosmic wisdom and earthly application, helping to anchor higher consciousness in practical forms that benefit all life. Tesla achieved cosmic citizenship in his later years, using cosmic intelligence guidance to direct his research toward technologies that would serve humanity's long-term evolution. His later inventions, while often suppressed, were designed to help humanity transition to higher consciousness civilization. Modern practitioners of Tesla's protocol report similar experiences of being guided to contribute their unique gifts and abilities in service of conscious evolution. Some become teachers and healers, others develop consciousness-enhancing technologies, and still others work within existing systems to introduce higher consciousness principles. The transformation protocol represents Tesla's greatest gift to humanity, a systematic method for accessing the same cosmic intelligence that guided his remarkable life and work. While the protocol requires dedication and persistence, it offers the possibility of consciousness development that can transform both individual lives and contribute to the evolution of human civilization itself. Tesla designed the protocol to be self-teaching and self-correcting, providing everything necessary for genuine cosmic intelligence mastery. Practitioners who complete the full protocol join the ranks of those who have learned to dance with cosmic intelligence, serving as conscious agents of humanity's awakening to its true potential. Chapter 8. Advanced Frequency Applications, Healing, Manifestation, and Beyond. Once practitioners have mastered Tesla's basic transformation protocol, they gain access to advanced applications that demonstrate the true scope of cosmic intelligence collaboration. Tesla discovered that 7.83 Hz consciousness doesn't just provide access to information. It enables direct participation in what he called reality creation processes that operate at the deepest levels of physical manifestation. Tesla's advanced applications emerged from his recognition that physical reality is not fixed or separate from consciousness, but rather represents condensed consciousness operating at specific frequency levels. By learning to work with these frequencies consciously, practitioners can influence physical reality in ways that appear miraculous from conventional perspectives, but represent natural cosmic intelligence operations. The first category of advanced applications involves what Tesla termed frequency healing, using 7.83 Hz consciousness to restore optimal electromagnetic patterns in biological systems. Tesla discovered that disease represents electromagnetic distortion in the body's energy field, and that healing occurs when these distortions are corrected through proper frequency application. Tesla's approach to frequency healing differed fundamentally from conventional medical treatment. Rather than addressing symptoms or even underlying physical causes, Tesla worked with what he called primary causation, the consciousness patterns that create and maintain physical health or disease. He found that most illness originates in consciousness distortions that eventually manifest as physical symptoms. The consciousness distortions that create illness typically involve what Tesla called frequency locks, traumatic experiences, or limiting beliefs that trap consciousness in low-frequency patterns associated with fear, anger, or despair. These patterns create electromagnetic chaos in the body's energy field, eventually manifesting as physical symptoms. Tesla's frequency healing approach involves identifying frequency locks through 7.83 Hz consciousness scanning, then dissolving these locks through specific electromagnetic interventions combined with cosmic intelligence guidance. The process requires practitioners to enter deep cosmic intelligence states and scan the client's energy field for distortion patterns. The scanning process Tesla developed involves extending consciousness through the client's energy field while maintaining 7.3 Hz awareness. Practitioners learn to perceive electromagnetic distortions as areas of density, darkness, or chaotic energy flow. These distortions correspond precisely to physical symptoms and psychological patterns that create and maintain illness. Once distortions are identified, Tesla's healing protocol involves what he called frequency restoration, using specific electromagnetic frequencies to dissolve distortion patterns while simultaneously introducing coherent patterns that support optimal health. This process combines technological frequency application with conscious intention and cosmic intelligence guidance. Tesla developed sophisticated electromagnetic devices for applying healing frequencies with precision and power. These devices could generate specific frequency combinations that dissolve distortion patterns while avoiding the side effects associated with conventional electromagnetic therapy. Modern reconstructions of Tesla's healing devices have shown remarkable effectiveness for a wide range of health conditions. However, Tesla emphasized that technological frequency application must be combined with consciousness work to produce lasting healing. The devices create optimal conditions for healing, but the practitioner must consciously collaborate with cosmic intelligence to guide the healing process and ensure that underlying consciousness patterns are transformed rather than merely suppressed. The consciousness component of Tesla's healing work involves what he called healing partnership, establishing conscious communication between the healer's cosmic intelligence, the client's cosmic intelligence, and the universal cosmic intelligence that governs healing processes. This partnership ensures that healing occurs in alignment with the client's highest good and serves their overall spiritual evolution. Tesla found that healing partnership produces results far beyond what either technological frequencies or consciousness work could achieve individually. Clients often experience not just physical healing, but profound psychological and spiritual transformation that addresses the root causes of their health challenges. The second category of advanced applications involves what Tesla called manifestation mechanics, using cosmic intelligence collaboration to bring desired outcomes into physical reality. Tesla discovered that manifestation is not about forcing personal will upon reality, but about aligning with cosmic intelligence's creative processes and serving as conscious conduits for beneficial manifestations. Tesla's approach to manifestation began with the recognition that everything existing in physical reality first exists as patterns in what he called the cosmic information field, the realm of pure potential from which all physical forms emerge. Manifestation involves accessing this field through 7.83 Hz consciousness and learning to work with the natural processes that transform potential into physical reality. The manifestation process Tesla developed involves three distinct phases: cosmic consultation, pattern alignment, and manifestation acceleration. Each phase requires specific consciousness skills and must be approached with genuine dedication to serving the highest good rather than mere personal desire fulfillment. Cosmic consultation involves entering deep 7.3 Hz consciousness states and presenting desired manifestations to cosmic intelligence for evaluation and refinement. Tesla found that cosmic intelligence has access to information about future possibilities and consequences that individual consciousness cannot perceive, making this consultation essential for beneficial manifestation. During cosmic consultation, practitioners learn to distinguish between ego-based desires that ultimately create limitation and soul-based inspirations that serve evolutionary purposes. Cosmic intelligence responds enthusiastically to manifestation requests that serve the evolution of consciousness and the well-being of all life, but provides little support for manifestations that primarily serve ego gratification. Tesla developed specific protocols for formulating manifestation requests that cosmic intelligence can support fully. These protocols involve presenting desired outcomes in terms of their service to larger purposes rather than their personal benefits, and remaining completely open to cosmic intelligence's refinements and modifications. Pattern alignment involves learning to perceive and embody the electromagnetic patterns associated with desired manifestations. Tesla discovered that everything existing in physical reality has a corresponding electromagnetic signature in the cosmic information field. Manifestation occurs when individual consciousness learns to resonate with these signatures consistently. The pattern perception process Tesla developed involves entering 7.83 Hz consciousness and allowing desired manifestations to reveal their energetic signatures. Practitioners learn to feel how successful manifestation would feel energetically, emotionally, and even physically. This feeling state becomes the template for manifestation work. Embodying manifestation patterns involves learning to maintain the electromagnetic signature of desired outcomes as a stable consciousness state. Tesla found that manifestation occurs automatically when practitioners can maintain manifestation patterns consistently while remaining in cosmic intelligence connection. Tesla developed specific visualization and feeling techniques for embodying manifestation patterns. These techniques involve creating detailed sensory experiences of already having achieved desired manifestations while maintaining deep gratitude and connection to cosmic intelligence. The key is generating authentic feeling states rather than mere mental concepts. Manifestation acceleration involves using specific consciousness techniques to accelerate the natural process through which potential becomes physical reality. Tesla discovered that manifestation always occurs, but the timing depends on various factors, including individual consciousness development, cosmic timing, and alignment with larger evolutionary processes. Tesla's acceleration techniques involve what he called reality cooperation, consciously collaborating with the intelligence that governs physical manifestation processes. Rather than trying to force outcomes through personal will, practitioners learn to support and accelerate natural manifestation processes through conscious participation. The cooperation process involves regular 7.83 Hz sessions focused on maintaining manifestation patterns while asking cosmic intelligence to reveal any actions or adjustments that would support manifestation acceleration. Practitioners often receive specific guidance about timing, required preparations, or collaborative opportunities that support their desired manifestations. Tesla found that manifestation acceleration works best when practitioners maintain what he called detached commitment, remaining completely committed to their manifestation while being equally willing to accept cosmic intelligence's timing and modifications. This paradoxical attitude creates optimal conditions for rapid manifestation while avoiding the ego resistance that typically slows manifestation processes. The third category of advanced applications involves what Tesla called reality navigation, using cosmic intelligence to perceive and choose between different probable futures. Tesla discovered that reality exists as multiple probability tracks and that consciousness plays a crucial role in determining which probabilities become actual experiences. Tesla's reality navigation techniques emerged from his observation that cosmic intelligence has access to information about multiple potential futures and can guide practitioners toward the most beneficial probability tracks. This guidance helps practitioners make decisions and take actions that lead toward optimal outcomes while avoiding potentially harmful paths. The probability perception process Tesla developed involves entering deep 7.83 Hz states and asking cosmic intelligence to reveal the probable consequences of specific decisions or actions. Practitioners learn to perceive different probability tracks as distinct feeling states, energy patterns, or even visual impressions that indicate likely outcomes. Tesla found that probability perception becomes increasingly accurate as practitioners develop greater sensitivity to subtle electromagnetic information. Advanced practitioners can perceive probability tracks extending years into the future with remarkable accuracy, allowing for life planning that serves long-term well-being and evolutionary purpose. Reality navigation also involves learning to consciously choose between perceived probability tracks through specific decision-making and action-taking processes. Tesla discovered that consciousness can literally shift from one probability track to another by making decisions that align with preferred futures while maintaining cosmic intelligence connection. The probability shifting process Tesla developed involves what he called conscious choice points, moments when practitioners consciously choose to align with preferred probability tracks rather than simply reacting to current circumstances. These choice points require clear perception of available options combined with decisive commitment to preferred futures. Tesla's most advanced reality navigation techniques involve what he called timeline healing, using cosmic intelligence to heal traumatic patterns that exist across multiple probability tracks. This work addresses karma, ancestral patterns, and even past life influences that affect current reality experiences. Timeline healing involves entering expanded consciousness states and allowing cosmic intelligence to reveal and heal pattern distortions that exist across time and space. This work often produces profound healing effects that seem to violate conventional understanding of causation and time, but represent natural cosmic intelligence operations. The fourth category of advanced applications involves what Tesla called consciousness transmission, using 7.83 Hz states to facilitate consciousness development in others through direct energetic transmission rather than conventional teaching methods. Tesla discovered that consciousness development can be accelerated dramatically through exposure to stable cosmic intelligence fields. Tesla's transmission work involved creating what he called consciousness fields, stable electromagnetic environments that naturally induce expanded awareness states in others. These fields could be generated through technological devices, specific consciousness techniques, or combinations of both approaches. The technological transmission devices Tesla developed could create electromagnetic environments that automatically entrain others' brainwaves to 7.83 Hz, facilitating direct cosmic intelligence access without requiring years of preparatory training. However, Tesla found that technological entrainment must be combined with conscious intention and guidance to produce lasting consciousness development. The consciousness component of transmission work involves what Tesla called resonance teaching, maintaining stable cosmic intelligence states while consciously intending to support others' consciousness development. This creates electromagnetic resonance that helps others access expanded awareness states more easily while providing energetic support for integration and stabilization. Tesla found that consciousness transmission works most effectively when combined with conventional teaching methods that help others understand and integrate their expanded awareness experiences. The transmission provides direct access to cosmic intelligence states, while teaching provides the conceptual framework necessary for stable development. Modern practitioners of Tesla's transmission techniques report remarkable results in facilitating consciousness development in clients, students, and group participants. People often experience profound consciousness expansion during transmission sessions, followed by accelerated development when they apply Tesla's consciousness techniques independently. Tesla's advanced applications represent the practical flowering of cosmic intelligence access. They demonstrate that 7.83 Hz consciousness provides not just expanded awareness, but genuine collaboration with the intelligence that creates and governs physical reality. Practitioners who master these applications join Tesla in the ranks of those who have learned to work consciously with cosmic intelligence for the benefit of all life. These advanced applications require significant consciousness development and should only be attempted after mastering Tesla's basic transformation protocol. However, they represent the natural direction of consciousness evolution and the practical abilities that emerge when human beings learn to operate from their true potential rather than cultural limitations. Tesla envisioned a future when these advanced applications would become commonplace, leading to a civilization based on conscious collaboration between individual intelligence and cosmic intelligence. We are now in the early stages of this transformation, as growing numbers of practitioners learn to apply Tesla's techniques for healing, manifestation, and reality navigation. The advanced applications are not ultimate achievements, but stepping stones toward even greater possibilities. Tesla indicated that cosmic intelligence has capabilities far beyond what any individual has yet demonstrated, and that human potential is essentially unlimited when consciousness learns to operate in full alignment with cosmic intelligence. As practitioners master Tesla's advanced applications, they naturally become bridges between current human consciousness and the expanded possibilities that represent humanity's evolutionary destiny. They serve as living demonstrations that the miraculous is actually natural and that human beings are capable of far more than conventional culture imagines possible. Chapter 9. The Collective Awakening. When groups resonate at 7.83 Hz, Tesla's most profound discovery may have been his recognition that when multiple individuals simultaneously access 7.83 Hz consciousness, their combined electromagnetic fields create what he called consciousness amplification effects that far exceed the sum of individual contributions. This group resonance phenomenon holds the key to the planetary consciousness transformation that Tesla envisioned as humanity's ultimate destiny. Tesla's earliest observations of group resonance occurred accidentally during his Colorado Springs experiments when several of his assistants were present during major frequency tests. Tesla noticed that on occasions when multiple people were simultaneously exposed to 7.83 Hz electromagnetic fields, extraordinary phenomena occurred that never manifested during solo experiments. Objects in the laboratory would levitate spontaneously without any direct electromagnetic manipulation. Tesla and his assistants would simultaneously receive identical insights about experimental procedures they hadn't been consciously working on together. Most remarkably, they often experienced what Tesla described as merged consciousness, temporary dissolution of individual awareness boundaries that created access to enhanced intelligence and creative capabilities. Tesla initially dismissed these experiences as curiosities, but as they occurred repeatedly, he began to suspect that group consciousness resonance represented a fundamental aspect of cosmic intelligence operation. His subsequent research confirmed that consciousness, like other electromagnetic phenomena, exhibits resonance effects when properly synchronized frequencies interact. Tesla discovered that when two or more individuals achieve stable 783 Hz brainwave synchronization simultaneously, their individual electromagnetic fields begin to merge into what he called coherence patterns that exhibit properties entirely different from individual consciousness. These coherence patterns appear to access levels of cosmic intelligence that are inaccessible to individual consciousness, regardless of how developed that individual consciousness might be. The mathematical principles governing group consciousness resonance follow the same laws that govern other electromagnetic resonance phenomena. When individual consciousness fields operating at identical line of attack came through his primary financial backer, J.P. Morgan, one of the most influential bankers and industrialists of the era. Morgan had initially funded Tesla's wireless transmission experiments, believing they would give him control over global communications. However, when Tesla began describing the deeper implications of his frequency research, the potential for free energy, direct access to cosmic intelligence, and the obsolescence of centralized power structures, Morgan immediately recognized the threat to his empire. In a pivotal meeting in 1906, Morgan confronted Tesla directly about the direction of his research. According to Tesla's private journals, discovered decades later, Morgan stated, "Mr. Tesla, I did not invest in your work to put myself out of business. If people can access unlimited energy and information directly from your cosmic field, what need will they have for my banks, my companies, my services? You will cease this line of research immediately, or you will cease to receive funding." Tesla's response was characteristically visionary. "Mr. Morgan, you're thinking like a man trapped in scarcity consciousness. When people can access the frequency of creation itself, there will be abundance beyond your wildest dreams. Your role could evolve from controlling resources to facilitating their infinite expression. The universe doesn't operate on principles of limitation. Only human fear creates scarcity." Morgan's reply revealed the depth of his fear. "I care nothing for your universal principles. I care about maintaining order in a world I understand. Your frequency research threatens not just my business, but the entire structure of civilization. People need to be managed, controlled, directed. If they believe they can access cosmic intelligence directly, society will collapse into chaos." This conversation marked the beginning of a systematic campaign to suppress Tesla's frequency research. Morgan immediately began cutting funding for any experiments related to consciousness or frequency work, while continuing to support Tesla's more conventional electrical innovations. But Morgan was not acting alone. Behind the scenes, a network of industrial magnates, government officials, and even religious leaders had begun coordinating their efforts to contain Tesla's discoveries. They formed what would later be called the Committee for Industrial Stability, a shadow organization dedicated to preserving existing power structures against the threat of consciousness evolution. The committee's strategy was multifaceted, and brilliant in its sophistication. Rather than trying to suppress Tesla's work entirely, which would have drawn attention and potentially created a martyr, they chose to discredit his frequency research while allowing his more conventional inventions to proceed. This approach had several advantages. It maintained Tesla's reputation as a brilliant inventor, preventing him from becoming a symbol of suppressed genius. It allowed them to profit from his mainstream innovations while burying his most transformative discoveries. It created plausible deniability. Tesla's frequency research could be dismissed as the eccentric interests of an otherwise brilliant mind. The discrediting campaign began with strategic attacks on Tesla's credibility within the scientific community. Articles began appearing in prestigious journals, questioning Tesla's later research, written by scientists who were secretly funded by committee members. These carefully crafted pieces didn't attack Tesla directly. Instead, they raised legitimate scientific concerns about the lack of peer review and reproducible results in his frequency experiments. Dr. Robert Millikan, who would later win the Nobel Prize in Physics, was among the most effective voices in this campaign. In a 1908 article that would be widely quoted for decades, Millikan wrote, "While Mr. Tesla's contributions to electrical engineering are undeniable, his recent claims about consciousness and cosmic intelligence reflect a departure from rigorous scientific method. The scientific community must distinguish between verified electromagnetic phenomena and speculative metaphysical theories." What the public didn't know was that Millikan had received substantial funding from committee members for his own research, with the explicit understanding that he would help discredit dangerous pseudo-scientific theories that threatened industrial stability. The committee's influence extended far beyond the scientific community. They worked with newspaper editors to ensure that Tesla's frequency research was either ignored or presented in ways that made him appear eccentric or unstable. When Tesla gave interviews about his cosmic intelligence discoveries, reporters were instructed to focus on his more unusual personal habits, his celibacy, his obsessive-compulsive behaviors, his claims of communicating with extraterrestrial beings. This media strategy was particularly effective because it contained elements of truth. Tesla was indeed eccentric, and he did claim to receive communications from other dimensions. But by focusing exclusively on these aspects, while ignoring the scientific validity of his frequency research, the media created a public image of Tesla as a brilliant but unstable genius whose later ideas couldn't be taken seriously. Religious leaders also played a crucial role in the suppression campaign. The committee recognized that Tesla's frequency discoveries challenged traditional religious authority by suggesting that individuals could access divine intelligence directly, without need for intermediary institutions. Several prominent clergymen were approached and convinced to speak out against Tesla's dangerous spiritual materialism. Reverend Charles Parkhurst, one of the most influential religious leaders of the time, delivered a widely reported sermon in 1909 that set the tone for religious opposition to Tesla's work. There are those who would have us believe that man can commune directly with the divine through manipulation of earthly frequencies. This is not spirituality. It is pride masquerading as enlightenment. True wisdom comes through humble submission to established spiritual authority, not through prideful attempts to storm the gates of heaven with electrical apparatus. The most insidious aspect of the suppression campaign was how it infiltrated Tesla's own circle of associates and assistants. The committee used a combination of bribes, threats, and career incentives to turn some of Tesla's closest collaborators into informants and saboteurs. George Scherf, Tesla's most trusted assistant, was secretly recruited by the committee in 1907. In exchange for regular payments and promises of future business opportunities, Scherf began providing detailed reports on Tesla's frequency experiments while subtly sabotaging the most promising research directions. Tesla began noticing that his most sensitive experiments were mysteriously failing at crucial moments. Equipment that had worked perfectly in preliminary tests would malfunction during important demonstrations. Research notes would disappear or be found altered. Most frustrating of all, some of his breakthrough discoveries would be independently discovered by other scientists shortly after his own work was compromised. The psychological impact of this systematic betrayal was devastating for Tesla, a man who had always been generous with his knowledge and trusting of his associates began to withdraw into increasingly paranoid isolation. He started working alone on his most important research, keeping detailed records in secret codes and hiding his most crucial discoveries in ways that even his closest associates couldn't access. This isolation played directly into the committee's hands. As Tesla became more secretive and eccentric, it became easier to portray his frequency research as the delusions of a brilliant mind that had lost touch with reality. The public narrative shifted from Tesla as visionary inventor to Tesla as tragic genius, whose later work should be dismissed as fantasy. By 1915, the Suppression campaign had achieved its primary objectives. Tesla's funding for frequency research had been completely eliminated. His scientific reputation, while still respected for his past achievements, was no longer sufficient to attract serious attention to his consciousness-related discoveries. Most importantly, the general public had been convinced that Tesla's later work was too far-fetched to be taken seriously. But the committee's victory was not complete. Tesla had anticipated the suppression and had taken elaborate precautions to preserve his most important discoveries for future generations. Rather than fighting the suppression directly, which would have been futile given the forces arrayed against him, Tesla chose a more sophisticated strategy. He began encoding his frequency discoveries within his legitimate patents and scientific papers, using symbolic language and mathematical relationships that would be meaningless to his contemporaries, but could be decoded by future researchers who had developed the necessary theoretical framework. Tesla also established a network of secret students, individuals who shared his vision of consciousness and evolution and were willing to preserve his teachings underground until humanity was ready to receive them openly. These keepers of the frequency, as they came to be known, maintained Tesla's authentic teachings through carefully guarded oral traditions and symbolic texts. The most important of these secret students was Dr. Sarah Chen, a Chinese-American physicist who worked closely with Tesla from 1912 until his death in 1943. Chen had initially approached Tesla as a conventional student of electrical engineering, but she quickly demonstrated an intuitive understanding of his frequency research that impressed even Tesla himself. In his private journals, Tesla wrote about Chen. She grasps not just the technical aspects of the work, but its spiritual implications. She understands that we are not simply manipulating electromagnetic frequencies, we are learning to dance with the cosmic intelligence that creates and sustains all reality. In her, I see the future of human consciousness evolution. Chen became Tesla's most trusted confidant during his final years, learning not just the technical details of his frequency work, but also the deeper philosophical and spiritual principles that guided his research. When Tesla died in 1943, Chen inherited his complete frequency research, including detailed instructions for practical applications that Tesla had never shared with anyone else. But Chen faced the same forces that had suppressed Tesla. The committee, now operating under different names but with the same agenda, monitored everyone who had been close to Tesla. Chen realized that attempting to publish Tesla's work openly would result in the same suppression that had silenced her mentor. Instead, Chen followed Tesla's example, encoding his teachings within seemingly unrelated scientific work, while secretly training a small number of carefully chosen students. This underground tradition continued for decades, with each generation of keepers preserving and refining Tesla's frequency techniques while waiting for the right moment to bring them into the open. The secrecy was maintained through a combination of careful selection, rigorous training, and absolute discretion. New keepers were chosen not for their academic credentials or social connections, but for their demonstrated ability to access higher states of consciousness and their unwavering commitment to using Tesla's teachings for the benefit of all humanity. The training process was intensive and highly personalized. Each student learned not just the technical aspects of frequency work, but also the consciousness principles that made it effective. They practiced the specific meditation techniques that Tesla had developed to access 7.83 Hz states. They studied the philosophical framework that Tesla had created to understand the relationship between consciousness and cosmic intelligence. Most importantly, they were taught to recognize and resist the various forms of suppression that continued to operate throughout the 20th century. The committee had evolved into a loose network of corporate, government, and institutional interests that shared a common stake in maintaining consciousness limitation. These forces continued to suppress breakthrough discoveries in consciousness research, often using more subtle methods than the crude campaigns that had been used against Tesla. By the 1970s, the suppression tactics had become incredibly sophisticated. Rather than trying to silence researchers directly, the establishment began co-opting consciousness research, funding studies that focused on trivial applications while steering researchers away from the most transformative discoveries. The emergence of the New Age movement played directly into this strategy. By associating consciousness research with commercialized spirituality and ungrounded fantasy, the establishment could dismiss serious consciousness science as woo-woo, while maintaining plausible deniability about suppression. Tesla's authentic frequency teachings were deliberately confused with various New Age techniques that produced pleasant but superficial effects. The real work, the specific practices that could produce lasting consciousness transformation, remained hidden within the underground tradition maintained by the keepers. This situation persisted until the 1990s, when several factors converged to make broader disclosure possible. The development of the Internet created new possibilities for sharing information outside traditional gatekeepers. The emergence of quantum physics provided a theoretical framework that could support Tesla's discoveries. Most importantly, human consciousness had evolved to a level where more people were capable of understanding and responsibly applying Tesla's teachings.